again. And if you haven't already guessed, it's Peabody and Sherman here. Say hello, Sherman.
Hello.
Very good. Once again, we are about to take off on another exciting journey into yesteryear. This time, our adventure concerns a very interesting figure.
Lady Godiva?
Sherman, control yourself. The interesting figure I'm referring to is the infamous but colorful pirate, Captain Kidd.
Can I set the Wayback Machine, Mr. Peabody?
Why not, as they say on the telly. The year is 1697, the place the high seas just off the coast of Madagascar. Although the Wayback had been making strange sounds of late, it still functioned perfectly. In a fraction of an instant, we found ourselves standing on the deck of a British merchant ship.
There's not a soul on deck.
A quick glance told me that Sherman's observation was correct, but looking up, I found the answer. The entire crew was perched high atop the mainmast, and before our startled eyes, all but one dove into space, plunged into the sea, and rapidly swam off in the direction of the mainland. The one who remained then took his dive into space, but his aim was poor.
Gee, too bad you missed the water.
No, it isn't. I planned it that way. You see, I can't swim.
Well, tell me, why were you and the others deserting the ship?
I'm the captain. They were the crew, and we're all scared out of our wits.
Scared of what, Captain?
That blasted showboat heading our way.
The captain had good reason to be frightened, for suddenly a cardboard false front dropped, revealing a row of ugly cannons which proceeded to fire on us.
We're being attacked.
Yes, and by that rogue, Captain Kidd. You must have something of value aboard, Captain. And there, standing behind the wheel, was a slot machine.
It's due to hit a jackpot any second. If Kidd gets his hands on it, England will lose a fortune. We must make a run for it.
And that's when a cannonball struck us at the waterline, and we began to flounder. Rushing wildly about the listing deck, the captain shouted,
"Don't panic. Keep a cool head."
And we did, for at that moment we went under, only to be scooped up out of the water by a large net. Seconds later, we stood facing Captain Kidd, Sherman, myself, the British captain.
Har! Before I hits the jackpot, I'm gonna give you 3 swabs a chance to walk to freedom.
Oh, I say that's awfully decent of you.
Indecent would be closer to the truth, for the walk we were to take was along a plank that stretched out over the water, which was teeming with man-eating sharks, and a few that were dog-eaters, too. Fortunately, the pirate vessel had drifted unnoticed to the shore of an island.
Walk!
And we did, off the plank, onto the beach, and into the dense foliage. We expected Kidd to pursue, but all he said was,
Who cares if the sharks didn't get them? They'll never get off this here deserted island. Heave-ho, me hearties!
And with that, they sailed off into the sunset while the captain frantically ran up and down the beach shouting,
Don't panic. Keep a cool head.
Does this mean we're moroned?
That's marooned, and we're not.
You mean this isn't a deserted island?
It's an island, all right. Manhattan Island. 5 minutes later, we were inside a cab racing for LaGuardia Airport.
Do you think we can get to Kidd before he hits the jackpot?
If we catch the 5 o'clock jet, there'll be no problem at all.
How do you know where to find him?
Well, he has to be at one of 2 places, Pittsburgh or Tortuga in the Caribbean. We settled for Tortuga because we missed the jet for Pittsburgh. As for Captain Kidd, he hadn't overlooked a thing. We were not only flying in a pirate airplane, but we had a pirate pilot and a pirate stewardess. We landed in Tortuga and were immediately brought before Captain Kidd.
Arr! I don't know as to how you blokes got off the island, but as soon as I hit this jackpot, I'll take care of you for keeps.
Now, you're a sporting man, Captain Kidd. Would you care to make a wager?
On what?
On whether you hit the jackpot on the first pull. If you do, you get the money, and we are at your mercy.
And if I don't?
We get the slot machine and our freedom.
Mr. Peabody!
Quiet, Sherman. Not only that, I'll provide the nickel. That was the straw that broke the captain's back. He took the coin, eagerly placed it in the slot, smiled confidently, and pulled the lever. It came to a stop on a lemon, an orange, and a grapefruit. You lose, Captain.
Mr. Peabody, how did you know it would stop on a lemon, an orange, and a grapefruit?
Elementary, Sherman. You can see right here on the front it says, Made in California.
Mr. Peabody, you have England's dying gratitude, or something like that.
From the edge of the pier, we watched the captain and the slot machine, which still hadn't paid off, sail happily back to England.
What about Captain Kidd?
He gave his promise to give up buccaneering and acquire an education.
You mean he went to school?
Yes, to Ohio University, where he proudly wore the school sweater with his name on it, which incidentally gave birth to a famous saying.
Which saying was that?
Oh, you kid.
Come on, Chumley. We'd better get back to the zoo before Stanley misses us.
Gee, Tennessee, how about another riddle?
All right, Chumley, go ahead.
Why does the Statue of Liberty stand in New York Harbor?
I know.
Because it can't sit down.